Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Saturday. I'm in Las Vegas for the HypnoThoughts, one of our largest conventions for hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming. I'm checking in with you guys today because I didn't do Thursdays because I was on my way down here. But I want to talk to you a little bit about how in hypnosis and NLP we believe that our past history does affect a lot of what we do, or how we respond to new ideas or new things, as well as old ideas and old things. The interesting thing is that if your mind is always going back and getting stuck on something, then it means usually there's something that's holding you back from the past. A lot of times what happens with our clients as we move through the process, we find that their weight loss isn't just coming because they are overeating. It's usually an emotional connection. Or if their business isn't succeeding, it's not succeeding because they're just not working hard enough. A lot of times it's an emotional connection that comes from childhood. Our mind is set up to run like an old tape, or like a cassette tape, or an 8-track tape, or whatever you kind of remember, or even a CD. So what happens is, let's use CD for this purpose. So as it plays through, if there's something on there that is a scratch maybe, and every time it hits that same spot, it's going to glitch. So what's happening in your memory, in the recall memory, is that every single time you're going back and doing something that has an experience or an idea that's new to you and it's not comfortable to you, that means there's something coming into the play of what you had happen in your past. It's interesting because I remember my dad always saying, you have to work really, really hard. You have to come home with blisters on your hand in order to be able to make money and be successful and know that you're working hard. I can remember going back and becoming a hypnotherapist, and it was very difficult for me to even set prices or to even ask somebody for money, because the conflict was, and I didn't know this until I had a hypnotherapist work with me from one of our organizations. And what was coming out of that was that my father had said that to me, and it stuck. It stuck in that it made a little scratch in that CD. So every time I would go in to ask for money, or to set a price for something, I would always lowball myself, because I was always worried about not having the blisters and not having the metaphor that he had created in my head that I was supposed to be achieving. But the interesting thing was once I worked through that and understood that the work that I do is still very important, and it does change people's lives every day. I see it every single day. People come into my office and I see them changing and developing and growing in their life and succeeding in areas they thought they never could, or thought that that was as good as it was going to get. In order for you to be able to be successful in your life, you have to go in and look at your past. You have to be able to go in and eliminate or change the emotions and the feelings that you're carrying with you based on what that experience was. The interesting thing is, I had a client that I was working with for the California bar. It was a perfect example. And she came in my office, and on the third session, she had just started crying, broke down in tears. And we're working on the bar exam, so it was like, this has to be some kind of an reaction or abnormal reaction. So her mind was clicking into something that she wasn't familiar with, or that she knew was there but hadn't dealt with it. So being on the outside, I noticed it, I knew it. So I went ahead and I continued the process, got her all the way through her session. And when she came up, I asked her, I said, what was that about? Do you remember what that emotion was? And she said, yeah, I used to be in an abusive marriage, and he used to beat me all the time. And when I was going into hypnosis, I had processes of remembering that. So even though she had had therapy, she had not gone into the internal part of what it was that she needed to release. So we worked on that the next session, and she actually released it and was able to go ahead and move forward. Now she's an attorney over in Pasadena. So in order for you to succeed, you always have to look at your past. Work through that. Find out what's holding you, what's hindering you. Once you can eliminate that, then you can start to progress yourself into, we call it future pacing, into what it is you really want to be and what you're going to achieve, without having those emotions or those blocks that are holding you back. Sometimes you need to find a hypnotherapist that can do that, because a lot of times we don't know what those things are. So in hypnosis, you can go back, discuss what it is that's happening and why you're not achieving it in one of your hypnosis sessions, whether it's brought forward through the hypnosis or your unconscious memory is going to do a memory recall on it, it will come up and you'll be able to move through it and be able to deal with it. And that'll open you up to the next level of your success. So anyway, that's what I want to talk to you about, how your past can hinder you and hold you back. Can also be great, though. There's a whole other side to that, and that's probably another conversation. But there's a whole side to utilizing tools that were given to you that allow you to also succeed. So anyway, have a good day and have a good night, and thank you for joining me here at Las Vegas. I'll show you guys around maybe in a couple days before we leave here. But thanks a lot. And if you liked what you saw here and you want more of it, let me know. Pass this on to friends. Bring people with you. Share this page. Let's get this community growing. Let's get this tribe where it needs to be, so that we can be there to assist each other and help each other as a group, as a family. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.